pouring rain. A young woman sits on the side of a dark road with nowhere to go. No family, no money, no plan. Behind her, a gate the size of a fortress. In front of her, an empty highway. And then, headlights. A luxury car stops. The window rolls down. Inside is one of the richest men in the country. He doesn't know her, she doesn't know him. But what happens in the next few minutes will change both of their lives forever. Because sometimes, the night you lose everything is the same night. Destiny finds you. 6 years earlier, her life had shattered in a single moment. A car crash, a hospital corridor. 2 words no child should ever hear. They're gone. At just 16, Amara became an orphan overnight. Her relatives took her in, but not out of love. At first, it looked like kindness, a place to sleep, food on the table, a roof overhead. But kindness slowly turned into obligation, and obligation turned into resentment. By 22, she wasn't treated like family anymore. She was unpaid labor, wake up before sunrise, cook, clean, wash, run errands, work a part-time job, and hand over most of the money. Nothing she did was ever right. Too slow, lazy, too fast, careless, too quiet, suspicious, too loud, disrespectful. There was no version of herself that was acceptable, and deep down, she knew the truth. She wasn't being raised. She was being tolerated. One evening, a storm rolled in without warning. The sky turned black before sunset. Wind howled. Thunder cracked like the world splitting open. Amara rushed outside to pull clothes off the line before the rain destroyed them. Inside, her aunt was already complaining. The tea is cold. The electricity bill is too high. You eat too much. You contribute nothing. Then came the sentence that changed everything. You're too old to still be here. At first, Amara thought she misunderstood, but her aunt walked to the hallway, returned with a small travel bag, and dropped it in front of her. Pack your things. No discussion, no warning, no apology. Her uncle tried to object, weakly, but one glare shut him down. If she stayed tonight, her aunt said, she'd never leave. So Amara packed 2 dresses, 1 pair of sandals, a notebook, and the only thing she had left from her mother, a soft scarf that still smelled, faintly like home. When she stepped outside, rain hit her like a wall. The door slammed behind her, and just like that, she had nowhere left to go. At first, she didn't cry. Shock is strange like that. It numbs everything. She just walked through muddy streets, past dark houses where no one would open the door, under flickering streetlights that made shadows look alive. Her sandals filled with water. Her dress clung to her skin. Her stomach twisted with hunger. Eventually, tears came, mixing with rain until even she couldn't tell them apart. She kept whispering one sentence over and over. I'm trying. I really am. After nearly an hour, exhaustion hit like a wave. Her legs shook, her vision blurred. Every step felt heavier than the last. Ahead, the road curved toward a wealthy neighborhood, a place she had only ever seen from afar. Huge gates, private security posts, mansions hidden behind trees, a world that had nothing to do with hers. But tonight, she had no world at all. She reached one of the gates, grabbed the cold metal bars for support, and slowly slid down until she was sitting on the wet pavement. For the first time that night, fear crept in. Not dramatic fear. Quiet fear. The kind that whispers, "What if no one comes?" She wrapped her mother's scarf around her shoulders, closed her eyes for just a second, and didn't even notice the approaching engine. Inside a sleek black luxury car sat a man who controlled billion-dollar deals before breakfast. At 33, Ethan Cole had built an empire from nothing. His company dominated logistics and technology across continents. Governments negotiated with him. Investors watched his every move. He trusted numbers. He trusted contracts. He did not trust people. Emotions were inefficiencies. Attachments were liabilities. Compassion was inconvenient. As the car approached the estate gates, his driver slowed. "Sir, there's someone by the entrance." Ethan barely looked up from his tablet. "Security will handle it. No one's on post yet. Looks like a young woman." Annoyed, Ethan glanced toward the window and saw her, not knocking, not begging, not waving for attention, just sitting there, completely soaked, completely still. Something about that bothered him. People who needed help usually made noise. She didn't. "Wait," he said. He stepped out into the storm without hesitation. Rain drenched his expensive suit in seconds. Up close, she looked fragile, but not weak, exhausted, but not broken. When she looked up at him, her eyes weren't pleading. They were guarded, steady. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head. "Then why are you sitting out here?" A pause. "I don't have anywhere else to sit." No drama, no exaggeration, just truth. He studied her carefully. "How old are you?" 22. "Name? Amara." He repeated it quietly, as if testing how it sounded. "You can't stay here," he said. "I know." "Where will you go?" She hesitated, then answered honestly, "I don't know yet." That answer hit him harder than any sob story could have. Most people would have invented something. She didn't. The gates behind her began to open automatically. He could leave. He should leave. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek black business card. He held it. "Out." She stared at it, unsure. "It's not charity," he said. "I own a company in the city. If you need work, come tomorrow, 9 a.m. Her confusion was obvious. "You don't even know me." "I know you didn't ask for help." That surprised her. "And you weren't begging," he added. "That matters." She finally took the card. Her fingers brushed his, icy cold. She read the name, and her eyes widened. Even she knew it. One of the most powerful CEOs in the country was standing in front of her, in the rain, offering her a chance. "Don't be late," he said, turning back to the car. And then he was gone, leaving her alone again, but no longer invisible. She didn't sleep that night. Instead, she walked toward the city, clutching the card like it might disappear. Was it a trick? A mistake? Something she imagined out of desperation? By morning, she stood across from a towering glass building, headquarters of his company. Employees in sharp suits flowed inside confidently. She looked down at herself. A simple navy dress, worn sandals, hair tied neatly back. She didn't look like she belonged, but she crossed the street anyway. The lobby felt like another planet. Marble floors, cool air, digital screens showing global operations. She approached. Reception, heart pounding. "I'm here to see Mr. Cole." "Do you have an appointment?" She slid the black card across the desk. The receptionist's expression changed instantly. "Please have a seat." No laughter, no dismissal. At exactly 9 o'clock, she was escorted upstairs. When Ethan entered the conference room, he paused for just a fraction of a second. She had come. On time. Instead of formal questions, he handed her a tablet filled with complex logistics data. "There's a problem in this report," he said. "My analysts haven't found it." She blinked. "You want me to try?" "Start." Then he walked away. For nearly an hour, she studied numbers she barely understood, searching for patterns instead of formulas. Years of working in a tailoring shop had trained her to notice small inconsistencies. Finally, something clicked. Shipment delays blamed on weather. But no storms were recorded on those dates. Fuel costs unusually high at the same time. Someone was manipulating routes, inflating expenses. She rushed to his office. "I think I found something." He reviewed the data. His expression changed. Senior analysts had missed it for weeks. She found it in under an hour. "You start today," he said. "As what?" "Temporary executive assistant." Her eyes widened. "That's too much for someone like me." "There is no someone like you," he replied calmly. "There is competence, or there isn't." Then he added quietly, "You are competent." No one had ever said that to her before. Over the following weeks, she didn't try to impress him. She simply worked. She reorganized systems, flagged legal issues, improved efficiency without seeking credit. She didn't flirt, didn't gossip, didn't chase attention. She just showed up and delivered. And slowly, the entire office began to change. But the biggest change happened in Ethan. For the first time in years, he found himself looking forward to tomorrow. One late night, he found her still working long after everyone else had gone home. "You don't have to stay this late," he said. "I want to." "Why?" She hesitated, then admitted, "If I leave early, I go back to nothing." He realized then, she didn't even have a real home. He arranged housing, carefully framing it as company policy, not charity, so her pride wouldn't be hurt. That small gesture said more than any grand speech, because he didn't just help her, he respected her. Weeks later, he asked her to accompany him to a prestigious charity gala. She insisted she didn't belong in that world. "You belong anywhere you choose to stand," he said. When she stepped out in an elegant gown that night, even he was momentarily speechless. Not because she looked glamorous, but because she looked like herself. Confident, composed, quietly powerful. Whispers filled the room. Who is she? His girlfriend, a mystery woman. But she didn't cling to him, didn't seek validation. She observed, listened, held her own. At one point, she whispered, "I've been hungry before. This is just expensive lighting." He almost laughed, a real laugh. And something shifted. He stopped seeing her as someone he had helped and started seeing her as someone who stood beside him. By morning, headlines exploded. "Billionaire CEO with unknown woman." "Unqualified employee gains influence." "Risk to company leadership." Speculation, judgment, criticism. The board pressured him to distance himself from her. She offered to step down. He refused. "You are not here because of me," he said. "You are here because you earned it." In a closed meeting, he made it clear. He would not sacrifice competence to satisfy gossip. For the first time in her life, someone chose her. Publicly, deliberately, unapologetically. What began as a chance encounter in the rain became something deeper. Not rescue, not dependency, not fairy tale magic. Two people who understood loneliness, recognizing it in each other. She gave him something money couldn't buy. Trust without an agenda. Honesty without fear. Presence without calculation. And he gave her something she'd never had. Opportunity without humiliation. Support without control. A place where she mattered. The one where she thought her story might end quietly on the side of the road, it wasn't the end at all. It was the beginning, because sometimes losing the only home you have forces you to walk toward the life you were meant for. And sometimes the stranger who stops in the rain isn't just offering help, he's opening a door to a future you never imagined.